Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Thursday, March 27th. I'm Michael Taylor, glad to be here with you on this Thursday. Did you have a great day yesterday? The drizzle's gone. I actually went out to Lake Elsinore. It was still cloudy out there. I went to visit my mom out there, so the clouds really moved in. We're going to talk about the weather in just a minute, but right now what we got on our show today, no clouds, nothing but sunshine here in the studio. We're going to be talking about Third Mutual and all the updates that are going on there. Robert Muchnick is going to be here, second vice president there. He's going to tell us some details about some new leasing rules and some other things that are going on in Third, so stay tuned for that. Right now, though, we want to keep you informed, and folks, let the games begin. It's going to be on Monday. The Village Games are just around the corner, so do all that last-minute stretching and practice this weekend if you're participating, and come out to the games. It's going to start from the 31st on Monday and go all the way through April 24th. They got 23 different activities, all sorts of things, and actually there might still be time to register. You know, some of the games don't start until later in the month, so if you want to go ahead and register, go ahead and pick up a packet over in the fitness center. You can do that and see if you can still participate in the games. If not, you know, great to go out there and enjoy them. Lots of participants, lots of different things to watch. Do they light a torch? I've never been to one of these. So it'd be cool if they lit a torch for the whole games to begin, like, you know, ceremony, you know, parade of athletes kind of thing around the track. That'd be kind of fun too. Anyway, get out there for the 31st. Go find some information on the website about where and when all the events are going to happen, and get out there and enjoy the 2025 Village Games. All right, let's check a weather forecast. And next week, hey, you know, starting on Monday, they're going to be cloudy. If you like today, you're going to love tomorrow. And if you love tomorrow, you're going to love Saturday. You guys see a little pattern developing here, basically mid-60s. And we got clouds, either mostly cloudy or partly cloudy for the rest of the weekend, into the weekend. And on Monday for the opening ceremonies for the 2025 Village Games, going to be about 65 degrees. That's going to be our warmest temperature of this very mild week. All right, folks, let's take a look at the sunrise and sunset. And we got a beautiful shot from Hope Bullock from her vacation up to Washington. This one's from Tacoma. What is it? It looks like a trolley car kind of thing on a pedestal. That's kind of interesting. The sunrise this morning was 6:44. Sunset tonight is going to be 7:08. If you'd like to send us some interesting shots, sunrise, sunsets, pets, places right around here in the village or on your vacations, we'd love to see them. Go ahead and email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we got a couple of meetings to tell you about. Then when we come back, we'll be getting an update from Third Mutual with Robert Muchnick. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Annette, owner of Window Jazz. We're here in Laguna Woods, replacing old windows with new, energy-efficient, state-of-the-art products. We're here with our installation team, upgrading old windows to make this property feel new and beautiful. New replacement windows and doors will make a major impact on the appearance of this home. They'll increase the property value and save homeowners money by reducing energy costs while providing a comfortable indoor climate. Let Window Jazz do the same for you. Call us today for a free consultation.
Discover the art of beauty with Noble Art Aesthetics in Laguna Hills. Led by Nita Mansour, a board-certified physician assistant and master injector since 2012. We enhance your natural beauty with precision and care, offering Botox, fillers, microneedling, skincare, and other anti-aging treatments. Every service helps you feel and look your best. Want luxury at your doorstep? We even offer mobile services and Botox parties. Give us a call today to start your journey to natural, beautiful results.
Attention all club organizers, party planners, and those who simply love to gather and celebrate life's special moments. Are you tired of the hassle of cooking for your events? Looking for a convenient and delicious solution? Introducing our easy and convenient catering trays, perfect for groups of any size from 35 to 90. Need a larger space to host your event? Look no further than our restaurant's banquet room, the perfect venue for your next gathering. Call us today to place your catering order or reserve our banquet room for your next event. Create memories and traditions with Polly's Pies.
Theater Guild presents It's Murder in the Wings. The boss is found dead by his staff before the big party. Everyone's a suspect. Find out who done it at this live screwball murder mystery at Clubhouse 5, April 14th and 15th. Elegant Hot Buffet by Taste Catering. Tickets at theaterguildlw.com.
welcome back. We have a Third Mutual's second vice president, Robert Muchnick, here with us today. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And you guys got lots going on over at Third. Lots of minutia of the world of HOAs. I guess is not the get some coffee, folks. Get ready for some riveting stuff going on, but it's important stuff. You guys are talking about lease caps and requirements for folks to be able to move in and buy and lease and those kinds of things,
Correct.
right? And there's been some changes, some updates.
Well, there's things going on that we are going to hopefully be making changes. And this is really an opportune time for those people who are listening today and also for the residents of the condos, owners of the condos, to have input, because we're on what's called 28-day notice for the things that we're going to talk about this morning. 28-day notice means that at the next third board meeting, which is the third Thursday in April, the board will actually be voting on these two issues and whether or not to implement them.
So, I'm sure there's voices on both sides talking to you guys, right?
That's why this is an opportune time for people to come out at that third Thursday and voice their opinions, pro or con, on these issues to inform the board.
And so one of the big steps you guys are talking about taking is reducing the lease cap. Explain to folks what that cap is, why it's there in the first place, and what you want to make the change.
Okay, well, back in 2020, Third Board established a lease cap of 30%, meaning that 30% of the little over 6,000 units were eligible to be leased by the owners rather than be owner-occupied. So 70% owner-occupied, a maximum of 30% leased non-owner-occupied units. Since 2020, the state of California came in with a new law that mandated that a minimum of 25% be allocated for lease options. So since then, the board has wrestled with the idea, do we want to reduce it to the 25%? Because the belief of the board, at least at the moment, is that the more owner-occupied units we have, as opposed to lease units, the better the community will be in terms of people having a vested interest in what goes on in the community, as opposed to long-distance owners who really don't know day to day what's going on.
Right, what's going on in the community.
Right. So we want to reduce the lease cap to the 25%. We're currently at around 29%. And so we've been fluctuating from between 27 and 29%. So we want to reduce it to 25%.
So in terms of that, if you're at 29%, you reduce it to 25, how does that affect the people who currently have leases out there and they're part of that 29%?
Good question. The answer is very simple. We will grandfather in everyone who currently has the right to lease their unit. So anybody in the village who's currently leasing will be able to continue leasing. And through the attrition, when they sell their unit, that unit will no longer be allowed to be sold as a leased unit. It'll have to be sold as an owner-occupied unit. So over time, probably a long time, we'll get that number down from 29 to 25. But what that means is if this is implemented, any new sale will not be allowed to be a leased unit.
Okay. Now, what if somebody has some other place in some sort of trust or passes along to family members? Will that lease be able to go off to the next generation if that kind of thing happens, or how does that work?
Yes, that will be allowed.
Okay.
It's just when the title transfers to somebody, the unit is sold.
Okay. So people who are looking maybe to buy in here and want to turn this maybe into an investment property, something they want to lease out, that's really going to be something that's going to be a barrier to anybody coming in here, right?
As of May 1st, the expected
if the vote goes
date
through
of implementation is May 1st. If it is implemented May 1st, then anybody who purchases after May 1st, it will not be sensible to think about it as an investment because they won't be allowed to lease it.
Okay, all right. So folks, new purchasers, they'll be signing an agreement to that, right? That they understand.
Well, they'll be notified.
They'll be notified in some sort of way.
Right,
okay.
before they actually purchase the unit.
Now, since we're at 29% right now, what happens to the wait list of people that
the wait list will go away at that point because we'll be above the 25%. If we get down close to the 25%, we'll then reinstitute a wait list at that point in time.
And right now, how would you notify the folks on the wait list? Is that one of those things? Hey, this is kind of going away, and then.
Well, there is nobody on the wait list at this point because we're not at the 30%.
You're not at 30% there, sir.
So we don't have a wait list at this point, so we don't have to notify anybody.
That helps. That's certainly great. So when this goes into effect, will people see any kind of change? It seems to me there won't be any kind of immediate impact anywhere along the
No, there won't be
lines,
any
right?
immediate impact because we're over the 25%, and those people still have the option to continue leasing.
Okay. And what has some of the feedback been so far at the meetings in terms of folks for and against? What are you guys getting there?
Mostly, I have heard mostly things that are favorable to this, even from some of the realtors that we've talked to.
And what are they? Why are they favorable for that? Just because of the, like you said, the community standard kind of goes up.
Well,
or
I
people
think
living
that,
there?
first of all, a number of the realtors live within the community themselves.
Sure.
So I think it's in their best interest to see more owner-occupied units to begin with. So I haven't talked to that many realtors, so I really don't have a handle on what all the realtors think.
Okay. And another thing you guys are talking about in terms of beyond the reducing the lease cap is the financial qualifications policy. You're going to make some changes there as well.
That's also the plan, and that kind of dovetails with the lease cap, because what's happened in the lease cap and what's driven up the lease cap to where it is let's say that you have senior parents that want to live in the village, but they can't meet the financial qualifications. So what's happened in the past is their adult child has purchased it in their name and then leased it to their parents.
Yeah, okay.
All right, because the parents don't financially qualify. Because when people have previously applied to purchase, they've had to meet qualifications. Each person on the deed had to meet the qualifications.
Okay.
So that prevented a lot of some seniors to being able to purchase. So now what we're going to do is we're going to aggregate that income so that when the adult child wants to buy for the parents will also be on the deed, because we'll aggregate the parents' income with the child's income and assets, because that's another component. And then once that aggregate collectively meets the minimums, then all those names will be on the deed, and that will not be a leased property, because now those parents will have their name on the deed and it'll be an owner-occupied property.
Okay. And you're looking at FICO scores and those kinds of things too,
Right.
in terms of the different kind of requirements?
Right. So we're actually increasing the FICO score that's necessary, because now we're having this aggregate. So yeah, but the FICO score is a minor component of it. It's really the income and the assets.
Okay. Now, if I'm buying and I'm younger than the standard in terms of like an adult child,
55.
55, I'm younger than that, am I allowed to do that? Do I qualify for that? If I'm going to be aggregating and have my parents in
You
there?
can buy, but you can't live here
Can't live here.
until you turn 55.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, we have people as young as in their 20s who've actually been purchasing units for
wow.
investment purposes.
Okay.
Now those same people can purchase that unit with their parents, all be on the deed, and just know that that 28-year-old or anybody under 55 is not allowed to live here, but the parents can live here.
And the financial obligation, as far as that goes, let's say, okay, I'm just trying to put out a scenario there that kind of makes this work. They aggregate that, the kids and the parents, they're all on the same lease, but then the parents are having...
It's not a lease, it's now
owners, they're owner. But maybe that those parents are having a challenge in terms of financial obligations that they have to meet the homeowners association dues and those kinds of things. Would the adult children of them also be responsible for that?
Yes, because they're all on the deed.
They're all on the deed, okay.
So yes, so all the people on the deed collectively are responsible for the monthly HOA payment and any other kinds of costs that are incurred.
Okay. And so in terms of background, what are you guys doing in terms of the backgrounds that you're going to be requiring for folks now? How is the policy changing from what it is now to what it's going to be?
Well, the only thing that's changing is the aggregation of the income.
Okay.
And once they meet that aggregated income and aggregated assets, that's the only thing that's changing.
Okay.
The amounts aren't changing.
And how does the calculation of the collective income kind of go into that?
You need to own a single unit, you need $60,000 right now. Now that changes because the board periodically increases that amount. So right now in Third Mutual, the condos, it's a $60,000 income requirement. So as long as, and that could be from Social Security, that could be from salaries, etc., dividends, that kind of thing. But as long as it's 60,000 is the aggregate income between the people who are purchasing the unit, that's what's necessary.
And putting the cap in line with the state, is that kind of like give you a kind of buffer zone in terms of legalities? Is that with why
Well, you
guys
can't go below the 25%.
You can't go below the 25.
That's mandated by the state of California. So that's why we're bringing it down to 30. Now, interesting, when this law went into effect, I could be wrong about this, but I believe that United, the co-ops, they were at 20%. They had to raise it to 25% to stay with the minimum.
Are folks having, in a broader picture, are folks having trouble buying homes, or seniors, in terms of, because of the housing prices are so high, costs are going up, and those kinds of things? Is it more of a struggle? Are you seeing that with people who are trying to get into these communities?
The answer to that is yes. However, within Orange County, you can't get a better deal than Laguna Woods Village. It's just that simple. The prices here, if you go outside of the village, you'll see the change in prices dramatically increase compared to being in here. Plus, in here you have all the amenities, you have the pools, you have the golf courses, everything that goes with it. So this is really a bargain, even at the current prices.
And as the board, are you the ones reviewing all of this financial information as it comes in, or are there committees that are taking care of these things? Who's looking at all of this as this process goes forward?
Once somebody goes into escrow for purchase of a unit, the president, first vice president, second vice president review and sign off on the application, which then includes all the information related to the financials.
Okay.
So all three have to sign off on that.
Okay. And are people, what is it pretty much, once you get to that process, is it pretty much everybody's kind of getting through, or are you still finding challenges?
Staff only sends forward the ones that typically meet it. So our job from the board standpoint is really pretty pro forma.
Okay. And so in this 28-day process, what are you hoping to see from people in the community in terms of meetings? And are there meetings, how many more meetings are coming up in terms of before we
Well, the meeting that's coming up is the third Thursday in April, where there'll be the board meeting in the community center in the boardroom on the first floor of this building. And at that point, when the items are put up on the floor for discussion, members will be able to come up and have 3 minutes each to speak either pro or against the motions, and state their reasons why, if they feel that way. If they're not able to attend in person, they can send an email in that'll be read on their behalf. So there are ways for them to participate, and they can now, between now and then, if they have an opinion, communicate with one of their board members to express their opinion.
What are the chances that it doesn't go to 25, that you guys make an adjustment based on the feedback you get and those kinds of things?
Then we'll stay at 30.
But is there, hey, maybe we'll make this 27, or that kind
Well,
of, is
at
it
that
going to be
point,
one
right
or the
now,
other? Or?
well, I mean, it could be adjusted, but right now the motion is 25%. So if that doesn't get board approval, then we'll go back to committee and discuss other options.
How important is it for folks to participate in this right now, to really get their opinions in there and let you know what's going on?
It's not only important in this case, it's important in all the issues that affect our residents. You know, we're looking forward to hearing from all of our residents on issues of concern that they have, because we don't always know exactly what their concerns are until they bring them forward. So we're happy to hear from everybody in whatever way they want to communicate with us.
And have you had town halls on this already in terms of
We
this?
had a town hall yesterday, and this was discussed at the town hall yesterday. It was brought up. We had about 40, 50 people at the town hall who showed up, and this was one of the items that was talked about. Actually, both items were talked about.
Okay. Big picture, tell me what your thoughts are on this process and how it's been worked from beginning to end, and where you seem to be leaning.
Well, I think it's worked very well. The board is a very cohesive board, working in harmony as it moves forward in terms of what's the best interest. And what I can honestly say is that from my fellow board members, none of them appear to have any personal agenda except for what's right and best for Third Mutual.
And for the folks on the leasing side who want to, they have their leases, they have those now, those are going to be grandfathered in. What do you say to, like you said, the 20-year-old investors and those kind of folks who maybe want to do this? Now that's going to be cut off in terms of their options for being able to do that.
Well, they need to look elsewhere. It's just that simple. That door is going to be closed here in Laguna Woods Village until we get to the 25%.
And what are you have any projections on what that attrition rate might be? What right now? How many sales do you have? I just want to get to how many sales do you know that you have that are leases, and what kind of attrition do you think that'll happen?
We have about a 10% turnover per year, so about somewhere between 500 and 600 units per year turnover. How many of them are leased units? How many of them are, owner-occupied units? I don't know the answer to that question. I just don't know.
Okay, so it could be a year or two.
No,
could
no,
be
no.
down the line.
It'll be more than my lifetime, in all likelihood,
You won't be-
to get to the 25%.
Oh, let's hope not. All right. Well, what is the most important thing you think the board and your work here does for this community?
Well, we're very interested in trying to control costs. Obviously, there are only limited things that we can do. Insurance.
With the inflation, what's going on, the costs have really been a pressure point for the boards.
That's right. So the question becomes, do you cut services or do you increase operation costs? It's a balance. There are some places where, yes, you can look for more efficiency in services so that you actually reduce the cost of those services. Right now, one of the big areas we're looking into is the insurance, property insurance. That costs us somewhere in the neighborhood of $7 million a year for property insurance. And with the wildfires that took place up north, that's going to impact the cost with the new fire maps that have come out just the other day. The 24th, they issued the new fire maps showing that part of Third Mutual now is in a very high fire zone.
Right.
So that's going to impact our cost of insurance. So the board now is very active in working with our broker and with other villages in the area to try to find ways to reduce our costs.
And are some of those things you're looking at in terms of hardening spaces around homes and that kind of thing, like bring brush away, zero-scape stuff?
We're required by law now to have 5 feet of space between the units and vegetation, and they have to be 3 feet above the ground. In terms of trees, have to be cut branches 3 feet above the ground, all designed to kind of improve the chances of fire reduction.
When did you start with the board in the first place, and why did you get involved? You're supposed to be retired and enjoying yourself.
I'll be honest with you. If I wasn't enjoying myself on the board and having fun, I wouldn't be doing it. So this is my fun.
What made you decide to get involved in the first place?
I've always been active. I was 45 years a university professor, chair of a department, and I've always been active in terms of making decisions about. And this is my own investment here. I'm concerned about what happens to my community.
Right.
So yeah, I care about the community.
And when did you come to the community? What did
5.5
you see about,
years ago.
What did you see about this area that you said, this is for me?
Well, very simple answer. My mother and father-in-law lived here, and my mother-in-law lived here for 35 years. She passed away just recently, and we used to come out and visit all the time. And to have my wife have the opportunity to spend time with her mother before her mother passed, we decided to move here.
All right. Well, Robert Muchnick doing the Lord's work. When's the next meeting coming up? When you guys are going to be talking about this, and when is the vote?
9:30 in the boardroom.
Coming in and talking about that, and then the next meeting after that is going to be perhaps the vote on that?
No, that is the date of the vote. It's already on 28-day notice.
Oh, okay.
So this is the day and time for people to be there.
All right. So get out there to Third if you want to have your opinion on this heard. Thank you very much, Robert Muchnick.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
As we get older, sometimes we need a little extra care. We can stay independent and in our own homes with the right care. Care to eat our favorite meal. Care to look our best. Care to stay active. Care to look after our pets. Find personalized in-home care at AmericareBeachCities.com.
Get ready for a night of smooth jazz, soulful R&B, and old school funk. The African American Heritage Club presents 2 bands for the price of one. First up is Brothers Igniting a Groove, bringing you the best in funk, both classic covers and original jams. Then let the smooth sounds of Down with 3 take you away with their signature urban jazz and R&B vocals. Don't miss this unforgettable night. Saturday, April 19th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Laguna Woods Performing Arts Center. Grab your tickets now at the Pack Box Office. 2 incredible bands, one night only to be there.
We promise to meet you with an open heart and curious mind. To never have the answers before we've heard your story. Because you are not everyone else, and healthcare is not one size fits all. Highest performing hospital, top ranked physicians, 50 convenient locations, right here in Orange County. You, empowered by Hoag.
Aging at home with the support of a caregiver offers numerous benefits physically and emotionally. Right at Home helps you stay amongst your personal belongings, memories, and comfort of your home. We offer one-on-one care that helps monitor health, assist with daily activities such as showering, medical medication reminders, cooking, safety, and accident prevention. Our team at Right at Home can help maintain your independence, keep a routine, and allow you to continue to make your own choices while improving your quality of life. We are Right at Home.
And welcome back. Hey, let's talk about the Friday and Saturday movies. We got some good ones lined up for you. This one I've never heard of on Friday. The Concert. It came out in 2009. It stars Melanie Laurent, and it's brought to us by City of Hope. So 30 years ago, Bolshoi Orchestra conductor Andrei Filipov was fired for hiring Jewish musicians, now a lowly janitor. An opportunity arises to gather his old musicians to go and pose as the official Bolshoi Orchestra in Paris. Sounds like a fun little twist. Interesting one, so make sure you see that one. And then on Saturday, we have Trading Places, a classic, fantastic movie. I remember seeing this way back in the day, back in the 1980s. It stars Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, and the great performance by Jamie Lee Curtis. It is brought to us by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. It's going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It's a snobbish investor and his wily street con artist find their positions reversed in life as part of a bet by two callous millionaires. That's a great movie. I really love that one. It's a fun one, so make sure you see that one on Saturday. Hey, let's take a quick check of our weather. And we got the clouds out there. You see those clouds in the background? They're going to be with us for quite a number of days. In fact, every single day of the week, as in our forecast here. We have basically mid-60s throughout the entire week, and it's just going to be kind of one of those AM clouds, PM sunshine kind of things, or partly cloudy days, mostly sunny. But really, clouds are going to be with us, and mid-60s, so not too bad. No rain in the forecast, so that's kind of nice as well. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Tomorrow on the program, Dr. Beyer from Hoag Medical is going to be here, and we're going to have Sports Corner, and I'll be here as well, so stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.